I'm an author, speaker, life and business coach, and a direct sales expert. On the King Pinyin Show, I'll introduce you to today's hottest entrepreneurs, celebrity guests, individuals who would inspire and motivate you with their stories. And as a wife and a mom, I'll show you how to balance career and family. My name is King Pinyin, and I'm here to equip, encourage, and empower lives. So what we want to do right now is transition and talk about leadership. How many of you are excited to hear about leadership? Because you all do realize that in life you're either leading or you're being led, right? And unfortunately, many people are not leading. The majority of us are being led. And we're being led by people who are not being led by somebody trustworthy in the first place. So in our business, we do nothing but lead other people, both men and women. And I felt like that's the missing link in entrepreneurship for many women. We're great at getting everything else done, but lead. So I thought that it would be good to have a panel discussion about women on leadership roles. And these two women right here are leaders in every sense of the word, every sense of the word. Melissa right here, I'm not going to tell you guys about her because I want you guys to hear from her who she is, and also from Marjorie. But Melissa is the only female in the John Maxwell team, faculty team, right? And how many men are you leading? 7? You and 6 men?
Me and 6.
6 men.
6 including John.
Right, 6 including John Maxwell himself. Yeah. And let me tell you, I know them. They are crazy in a good way. So I wanted to know how she does it, how she manages to get everything running smoothly, being the only female in that group. Marjorie out here, I have a tremendous amount of respect for, and all of you are going to see why in a minute. She's a female in the construction business in the state of New Jersey. I mean, she is kicking butt in New Jersey. Not only does she have to deal with that whole male thing, that's predominantly an Italian kind of business. And so she's right there running it with the big guys and doing it in a phenomenal way, to the point where she's been voted the top 25 women in the entire state of New Jersey. Yes. Top 25 women to know in the state of New Jersey. So you and I now know a top 25 woman in the state of New Jersey. If they don't know about us, they better ask somebody. Because if anybody in New Jersey messes with us, we know one of the top 25 women. We're going to call them up, right? And not only that, she sits on the New Jersey Economic Development Board, appointed there by Governor Chris Christie. So she's no joke. So she's very deep when it comes to leadership, and you guys are going to see that tomorrow. And so what you guys see hear from Melissa, she also is phenomenal. So without having to say too much about them, I want to just give them a chance to introduce themselves and tell you about all their accolades, and don't leave anything out, please. We want to hear all about it. Yeah, you can start.
Well, I've always had a passion for people, and that's really what has, I guess, led me to where I am today in leadership, because leadership is really about people. It's about being able to connect and influence people. I've learned from John Maxwell, leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. So it's been an honor to be a business partner with him, but probably more importantly, just a mentee of his. I learn from him every day. I learn from my whole team every day. And building my own business, being a business owner, and out there being a female, it's hard enough, but now you're out there and you're playing with the boys. I mean, it just adds another level of complexity and another level of challenges. But I've been blessed in the fact that my team they've carried me along the way. I've carried them along the way. We've really, in every sense of the word of a team, we truly are a fantastic team that just make a difference. And the reason, again, why I think we make a difference is because we are all passionate about people. I could say, I hate to go down a list of certifications, but just a certified coach, certified in strategic intervention with Tony Robbins. I do have a bachelor's degree that I don't really use. Doesn't make my parents too happy. Well, I shouldn't say that. No, I don't use all of it. But you know, I was like many of you, where I had a full-time job, and that's what my degree was in, and I was doing that for 8 years, and just realized I wasn't in the right place. And I'm going to tell you more about my story tomorrow when I chat with you. But it was a leap of faith that I had to take in following my heart, following my dream, and building a coaching practice, a coaching business that I had no clue what I was doing, had never done any public speaking, had never done any leadership, I really didn't know what I was doing. So again, just the people that have come into my life to have mentored me and led myself, they've really been my teachers. They've really gotten me to where I am today. And in the John Maxwell team, we have over 3,000 people, 3,000 members, King being one of them, and from 91 different countries. So it's really an honor to be coaching and mentoring these people from all over the world. It's really just a reflection of how powerful John Maxwell's teachings really are. They're so universal that they've really touched the entire planet. And just to be by his side and a partner of his, it's a true honor.
Right, absolutely. And many of you know John Maxwell, right? You know, he's been a keynote speaker twice in Five Links, and so the women here totally love him. But also, Miss Sheila Bell is right here. She's an SVP. Sheila, can you stand, please? And she's also a John Maxwell certified coach, okay? So she's part of the organization that's teaching leadership, right? Now, how many of you felt good when Melissa said she knew nothing about leadership, right? Because sometimes the trick is to think that all the women who are in a leadership role have always been leaders, but all of them truly started not knowing what the heck was going on. They got thrust into it, and they kind of learned to swim with the waves, okay? So that was a good thing for me to hear you say that.
And you said it to me the other day when we were talking, that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Yes.
And I think that's another thing that I'm passionate about people, but I'm always a student, and so I'm always looking to learn. I'm always looking to grow. Regardless of who's by my side, I'm looking to learn from everybody that's in my presence. And I think that too has been a big teacher for me in leadership, is watching others, watching how to do it, watching how not to do it.
Yes, yes, absolutely. How about Miss Marjorie?
I don't think this is working.
Does it work?
No,
Bob, does that work?
Is it? Can you hear me? Yeah. Well, I can't compete with that. So I'm just going to do my little thing here. My name is Marjorie Perry. I'm President and CEO of MZM Construction and Management. I build airports and hotels and Marriotts like this for a living.
I know!
It was interesting that Sandy Storm, I am certified with the Army Corps of Engineers, so we do a lot of beach replenishment on the engineering and environmental side. So right now we're finishing up in Delaware and getting ready to go up to Connecticut, and then we're out to Louisiana and put sand on the beach. It's more intricate than that, but it is what it is that we do. I am going to challenge my host next. I think everybody in here is a born leader. It's just if you decide to bring it out and play with it. I like to reframe things, so I'm going to talk about reframing. Everybody's born a leader. It's just depending on if you want to bring it out and play with it. I have always been a rebel. I come from the inner city of Newark, New Jersey, lived in the projects. So there's something about us that you're born in the inner city, you're already a little bit bipolar, because you can kick a little butt in the morning and go get educated in the afternoon. And one of the things that I sometimes don't understand about individuals in terms of their leadership and how they bring it out is how much you're willing to risk looking at your good side and your dark side. That's really what develops a leader. Okay? So we'll talk a lot about that tomorrow. I have lost millions, I have made millions. And the day you get comfortable losing your first million, then you start to building your wealth.
Yes.
I just want you to know.
Right.
Because we're traditionally brought up in the church, some of us may not, save every penny and get your little Christmas club. And, I was standing behind a lady at the counter this morning when I was coming in. Well, I don't want that $2 on my bill. I want it separated and give to someone else. Share. Put the $2 on your bill. Builds the mentality. So we'll talk a little bit about that. How did my leadership get to where it is today? I have been approached by the mafia several times. They are now my allies versus my enemies. And I don't say that in a negative way, but it's a muscle thing. So you have to be able to play the game. And I don't care what business you're in.
Yes.
You're going to have to face the mafia and whatever that looks like to be a great leader.
Yes.
Obama is going through that now, our great president, because he is now facing his mafia.
Yes.
So I just leave that with you now, and I'll turn it back over to you.
Oh my gosh, how many of you are getting excited about tomorrow?
The world can be compared to a jungle. There's always something new around the next bend or some unexpected surprise getting ready to fall on you from a tree. The rules change often and fast. There is an urgency to stay one step ahead. Concrete Jungle will help you to avoid the obstacles and jungle predators. Learn how to trust your instincts, think outside of the box, and become an achiever from celebrity authors King Pinyin, Bob Proctor, Steve Rizzo, and Mark Leader. Concrete Jungle will inspire, motivate, and give you the tools you need to conquer the world. Grab your copy today from kingpinyin.com. That's kingpinyin.com.
Tomorrow is going to be incredible. Can we talk a little bit about what you're going to be talking about tomorrow? Because I know it's good. I don't want to let it all out. But you're going to be talking about what every leader, 6 things that every leader needs to know in their journey. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, I have found, like I said in the beginning, I'm passionate about people, and if you don't understand people, if you don't get people, it's really hard to connect with them beyond the surface. It's really hard to motivate and drive them if you don't get them. So I'm going to be sharing with you 6 things that'll help you understand people so that you can connect with them, you can drive them. Those of you who do have a team, you are leading people, or you're trying to build a team so you can lead people. So many times we struggle with motivating people, and we think they're lazy, or we think they're not serious, we think they're not committed, they're not doing what they need to be doing. Why is that? So I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit more about understanding why people do what they do and why they're not doing what they say they want to be doing. And with this information, my intention is that you'll be able to connect with yourself at a deeper level, because you're a person too, so you're going to understand yourself a lot more, but then also it's going to help you connect with and motivate others to take action. And that's really what it's about, is because if action isn't being taken, nothing's getting done. So it's really being able to help drive action, and through action, results.
Now, Ms. Marjorie, you say that all of us are born leaders. It just depends on if you want to bring it out and play with it. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Like, I'm interested in that. Isn't that a nice way to look at leadership? Like, it's in there, but you're not bringing it out and playing with it. It's the choice of words that's exciting to me, because leadership is something that's terrifying for the majority of us. So can you talk a little bit about that?
What I'm going to talk about tomorrow, or that?
This one first, because this is more juicy.
Well, you know, one of the things that I had a great coach about 15 years ago. Well, actually, I'll tell you my first coach. I used to work for United Airlines. I'm out of corporate America. You need to have some training somewhere before you step out on your own if you really want to build the lifestyle that you're talking about. To go in and learn on your own dime is a suicide rate, and especially in today's economy. So learn it, play with it, fail there, and then come out and then step forward. I used to fly first class when we were one of the crack shot sales team to open up deregulations for United Airlines to go to China, to go to Japan, etc. Ralph Lauren was always on my flight. And he would always say to me, because I'm busy being the manager. And one day he said, come sit with me one day. But he wasn't Ralph Lauren as we know it today.
Right.
So he sat down with them and he said to me, he said, listen, you know you're a natural born leader. I said, no, I'm just good at staying behind the scenes and taking care of everything and, making sure you're comfortable and everything of that sort. He says, no, I watch how you process things. I watch how you put things together. He said, there's a natural innateness in women to get things done. Yes. And if they have you up here with me in first class, you can lead anything. But you just have to decide that you believe that and that you know that and you own that. And one of the things we do, I find, is that we talk about we're leaders or we want to be leaders, but 99% of the people in here, if you don't change your mindset, will never see the level of leadership that you wish to be. Because it starts with the internal conversation first. I've met more people in my speaking over time that says, oh, I'm this, I'm that, and 2 minutes later I hear them saying, I can't do this, I can't. You can't have that same conversation going on in your mindset at the same time. If you're great, you're great. And when you go home at night, you're still great. If you didn't brush your teeth, you're still great. If you decide
your breath ain't so great, but you're great.
If you decide not to take a shower on the weekend,
You're great.
and you have to be able to have that internal dialogue going on automatic all the time, regardless of appearances. Because we as women tend to really get caught up in our appearance. And then when we go home, we decide to minimize who we are. Got to stay great 24/7. And I think our coach, where did she go? I don't know where she left. She talked about that a few minutes ago. So that's what I'm going to talk about. And then tomorrow, what I'm going to really break down for you, do you want to be a breadwinner or a wealth builder?
Ooh.
Which is two distinct tracks. And neither one of them are bad or wrong. You just want to be clear what track you're on. And if you want to segue over to the other side of really doing wealth building, are you ready for that? And that's what my conversation will be about tomorrow.
Did you guys? I am getting super excited. I heard something she just said. I hope you guys jot that down. She said, believe that, know it, and own it. That was major right there, because I think many people speak it, yes, but the belief factor is missing.
The belief and the owning.
And the owning, yeah, those two are like the big missing thing. When you see a leader, they just know, they know it, they've accepted it, and they own it on the good days and the bad days, because all of us have the good leadership moments, and we have times when we have sucked, like terribly, when you look back in hindsight, right? So Melissa, I know that you're coaching, you're the only female in the John Maxwell faculty. Can you tell us what it means to be a woman that's working with and leading men? Because in our organization, many of those women are in a position where they're leading men. Or if they're not there yet, they are going to get there, where the men are going to be a big hold up to their success in the company or to their growth as a leader. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because you're always around men. At least I know that.
It's definitely been a journey. When I was first asked to be a part of the team, I definitely had those thoughts. My mind was, can I do this? Am I good enough? How can I, what do I have to offer? What do I bring to the table compared to these other guys? So I definitely was, I had my scorecard out, seeing if I was even worthy of being on this team with them. So I had to definitely process that and get that out of my head and see my value and see that what I was bringing to the table, that I was bringing a perspective that they had no clue about. They couldn't even pretend that they had a clue of what I brought to the table. And I had to own that and love that. And I get goosebumps thinking about it, because when I really broke through that and I really saw my value and I saw what I brought to the table, it was a game changer for me. I was ready to step up. I was ready to put in my 2 cents. I wasn't as shy. I wasn't as feeling it out to see if it was okay for me to speak up or not. I was ready. And so I think that mindset journey, that mindset transformation is such an important part of it. So if you're not taking the time to address what's going on upstairs, that will always be your lid. You will block yourself from moving forward if you can't if you're not working on transforming your mindset. So that's number one. That I would say you will never outperform your own psychology. Your mind will not let you go beyond what it believes you are capable of, or
That's
who
what
you
John
are.
calls the law of the lid, right?
The law of the lid, absolutely.
Yeah, in 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. That's a great book
number
for
one law.
all of you to read. Okay, if you're looking to become a leader, the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. It's by John Maxwell, and he talks about the law of the lid.
Yes.
And interestingly, when he came to our company, when he was the keynote, that was a major aha moment for many of us. Because if your leadership level is a 5, you're always going to have 4s in your group. You know, if somebody who was a 7 shows up in your group, they're not going to stay under your leadership because you're a 5 and they're a 7. So in order for you to lead them, you got to go up in your leadership, and that's where that transformation comes about. And it seems to me that you had to transform to be able to step into that role as a John Maxwell faculty member. Is that correct?
So yes, I had to raise my own lid
Your
of
own lid.
leadership and able to play with the big boys. And now, you know, I joke and I always say that, you know, I'm taking care of them. I have to round up the boys and I'm the one in charge. But it's really just because I've come into the awareness of what I do bring to the table and love that. I love that. I think too, a big part of just the team that I'm on, we have high standards. We challenge each other. We're constantly raising the bar for each other, and that keeps me on my toes. That keeps me on my game. We're looking at results. We're not about just talking our walk, but we're having a talk. What is it? How's the saying go? Whatever, you know, we're not
Talking the talk, but you're walking the talk.
We're walking the talk. That's right.
I always get confused about that too. Like, is he talking the walk or walking the talk? Whatever that is.
Whatever. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
But just that we just have high standards for each other. Like I said, we're always learning from each other, and we have, like I said in the beginning too, we have a passion for people. So we are constantly setting our intention, realigning the vision of the company to be about the people, to be about adding as much value as we can to them. And that's really made a big difference of the work and the impact that we've been able to create. And you know, I feel like as a woman, a lot of the times whenever we start to stray from that, I feel like I'm the one that's saying, wait a minute, it's about the people, because I bring more of that emotional, feminine energy. That when we're off track, when we're too focused on the numbers or something, that it's like, wait a minute, it's not about the numbers, it's about the people. Absolutely. And we just had a meeting a few months back, and we were talking about putting another package together, another program together, and for our mentorship program, and I'm like, wait a minute, they don't need another program.
Yes.
They need connection. They need us to be there for them. They need their questions answered. They need to know that we got their back.
And that's something that the female will bring into any leadership role that needs to be embraced, right?
Absolutely.
Ms. Marjorie, what would you say is the #1 obstacle to women becoming leaders? It seems like the glass ceiling on our heads, it's self-imposed. That's how I see it. What do you think, over your years of experience, is the #1 reason why women are not stepping into these leadership roles?
Women want to be nice.
Okay. Did you guys hear that? That's true.
Women want to be nice, and they want to be nice.
Yes.
I can't even tell you how many names I've been called.
Oh, yeah.
Between 9 and 5.
Yes.
And you have to have the confidence that it's okay, you done? I need my check. So I say this, women are not in bigger leadership roles, and actually we're dropping down in leadership roles everywhere. Because women don't like confrontation. Women want to be nice. Women want to, well, it's okay, I can take less conversation.
Can I add to that?
That is so true.
And at the end of the hour, you know, you cannot be in business. You know, I'm sure everybody here has read Lean In. Some of the things I take out of that book, some of the things, it's, you know, it's okay. And especially if you're a woman of color, we really try to be nice.
Yes.
We want to bring Jesus up.
How true.
Jesus said, turn the other cheek. No.
Yeah, slap it. Yeah, true.
When they are beating you down, you got to stand up and say, Jesus, forgive me. I'll get right back to you. It's time to play. So that's my take on why more women aren't stepping up, because you will be viewed as that.
The angry black woman syndrome.
Well, it's women, period, but particularly women of color. You will be called that, and most women don't want to hear that.
Yes.
That's my 2 cents. You want to add something?
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to add to that. What I also see is there's sometimes women they're almost like looking to be offended. Like a man says something the wrong way, or they say a joke, or what, and then we have to get an attitude about it, and make it bigger than it is. And that's one thing I've learned too with my team is just roll with the punches. They say a joke, I come back with a bigger, funnier joke. Or sometimes they'll have me be the note taker, and I'm like, and I could think in my head, and I'm like, you want me to take the notes? As like I can feel myself getting offended. Like, oh, because I'm the female, I can take notes.
Yeah.
And I catch it, and I say, wait a minute. In all honesty, I have the best penmanship. I do take the best notes. And if these notes are going to get out to the rest of the team, I better do it, because I know they're not going to. So I look at it as, you know what, that's a strength of mine compared to the rest of my teammates. So I'd take notes proudly and send them out to the rest of the team, instead of in that moment I could have been offended.
So what I'm hearing you say is that the obstacle is our emotions.
Yeah.
Women are too emotional. How many of you would agree that your emotions have hurt your businesses majorly? Right? That was by far one of the lessons that I had to learn coming up the ranks. Now, Miss Marjorie, I was good with being called whatever. How many of you would say that King has been good? Right? Talk to Craig, Jeff, or Jason, any of our founders, or any men that have dealt with me. I am good with that. Real good. But where I struggled was putting my emotions in check. Because I was always going, oh yeah, you're saying that because I'm a woman, right? So I'm going to stand up to you. And my masculine side, that energy would come up. And when you're masculine going against them, there's bound to be problems, there's bound to be issues. So I think that when I learned to just let it go and take a joke for what it is and came back with a better joke, my business kind of changed, and I enjoyed doing it. I actually started enjoying leadership roles, because initially I really did not like it at all.
It makes it more fun. I think
it's more fun. It really is more fun.
Yeah.
Right. So do you guys have any questions? I know we're going on and on. Do you guys have any questions for Miss Marjorie and Melissa? Anybody have any questions? Because we're going on and on. Okay. There you go.
Hello.
Oh, Joyce right here. Okay. Can you guys give it up for Joyce?
This is really exciting. So this one is for Melissa. Melissa, you said that you are a leader amongst men. And I was just wondering.
I'm sorry, I was a leader what? Once?
Amongst men.
Amongst men, yeah.
So when you are dealing with them, do you find that you deal with men differently than you deal with women? Or do you pretty much deal with them the same?
Differently in the sense that, and I'll be sharing some of this with you guys tomorrow, which is how to connect with people and understand people. But I mirror and match. I don't know if I know it's something Tony Robbins teaches, but I try to match their energy. So if they're more of an aggressive type of person, I might come with more of an aggressive energy. If they're more of a soft-spoken person, I might be a little bit more soft-spoken. So I'm looking to match their energy. I find that they're much more receptive to what I'm saying when I'm matching the energy. The same thing when when you kind of step into your own and you own it. It doesn't mean that you walk around and you take charge and you call the shots and you tell everybody what to do. That's not it at all. When I think of owning my worth and owning my value, it's a calm confidence. It's a confidence of just knowing that I bring value to this conversation. But if I need to connect with you, I need you to receive what I want you to hear. I need to motivate you. I need to know what inspires you. So those are the things that I'm looking for. I'm trying to read your energy a little bit. I'm trying to see how can I best approach you. But I guess it's not so much different between men and women. It's just that I find men have a different energy than women do.
Yes.
So I'm more often approaching them with more maybe of a masculine energy, or even just a matter of fact, a confident energy, because they're coming to me with confidence. I need to match them with confidence. So that's what I'm looking for when I'm communicating with men.
Okay, great. One other quick question, Margie. How did you break into that industry? That seems like a really, really tough industry, especially for a woman to break into. What was about you that was so, I don't know, I guess I could say unique, that allowed you to break into that industry?
Stupid? I don't think there's no blueprint to success. It's really choosing to want to be on the journey. And I actually started the business for 2 other gentlemen. So they didn't want to do it anymore. I bought them out. And what I was always very good at was putting teams together, projects together, and et cetera. So I went back to NYU. I went back to engineering school after I came out of NYU. I finished my MBA with the emphasis in heavy finance. Because since I couldn't compete with them in putting up the wall, I had to compete with them on a business level. And that's where I was able to scale most of the time when they weren't trying to throw me out with the bathwater.
Right there, okay.
Hi. This question is from Ms. Perry. How did you learn to be assertive without being rude or offensive?
You want the truth? I can be assertive. Sometimes I'm downright rude. And sometimes I will take you to the mat. But the deal is that what Melissa talked about, because my industry is very different. Sometimes I'll tell the guys, gently, can we get this going? Can we move this along? Yeah. All right, I'll come back a third time. John, make sure you CC me on everything that's going on. Yeah. Now, if I call you the third time, I am no longer in the mode of being assertive. I'm taking you out. I'm threatening your job. You're going to have a real problem today, and I'm paying you $150K a year. But what you're trying to do is minimize me as the woman because you may not look like me, and you've decided that you're smarter than me. So I give you 3 shots. I'm sitting back listening, talk about the mirroring. Okay, jerk number 1, beyond jerk number 2. Number 3, we got to go to full blast. Because, I've got 35 minutes,
In today's business world, success is an art form. You must continue to broaden your knowledge base to keep up with the latest trends, strategies, and ideas in order to succeed. Author, speaker, coach, and direct sales expert King Pinyin has co-authored an inspiring new book titled Mastering the Art of Success, along with celebrity authors Les Brown, Jack Canfield, Mark Victor Hansen, and many others. The authors featured in this book were specifically chosen to help you create winning habits and acquire the vital information you need to stay competitive. Reading what these authors have to share will be time well spent, and you'll pick up vital new skills. You will also learn how to make smarter decisions, enhance what works, and eliminate what does not. Each chapter in Mastering the Art of Success is like a mini coaching session that will help you achieve your personal and organizational goals. Remember, you are the author of your life. You have the power to unlock your potential, and Mastering the Art of Success will show you how. For more information and to order your copy of Mastering the Art of Success, please visit kingpinyin.com. That's kingpinyin.com.
How many of you are learning a lot from this already, right? Now, with the technique that Melissa talked about, being able to mirror and match, I tell you, if you get to understand that, and someday maybe I'll teach it to you guys in details, it is amazing. I mean, there's nothing like it. You got to meet people where they are, and the easiest way for you to meet them and connect with them is to match their energy. So if they are laid back, don't talk too much. If they're high energy, then you got to be high energy. It's like for me right off the bat, a boring person just turns me off because I'm not boring. I'm very high energy and intense. So I don't get along very well with people who will get to it whenever we get to it. No, we got to get to it right now, right? Like Sarah, when you look at Sarah, I can work with Sarah very well, but 90% of you in here will not be able to because she's very high energy. She makes sure that everything is in charge, it's in place. So it's about mirroring. If you're going to grow as a leader, you need to learn that, especially if you're going to be leading people. So when you talk to them, you got to meet them wherever they are.
Great. So tell us your name.
My name is Bessie, and I just want to say thank you. It's a great panel. I'm already learning a lot and taking a lot of notes. My question is for you. About building a team. My question is, what would be an element to keep in mind when building a team?
To keeping the team once
to keep in mind. What would be something to keep in mind?
I'm sorry, I can't hear today apparently.
Can you say it again, Bessie?
I didn't hear either. What did you say? Say it again.
What would be the key element, one key element to keep in mind in building a great team?
Okay.
I think the core of a team is vision, is vision and purpose. Everybody knowing why they're there and what they bring to the whole, because everybody plays a different role or a different part that makes the team a team. So really making sure that everyone's on the same page of what's the vision, where are we going, why, what do we want, why do we want it, and then making sure everyone feels valued. You know in different statistics and reports and what have you, that they'll say that we think that people most value a paycheck or they value the money. But really, when they actually go down and they survey people, they stay for the relationships. They stay because they're made to feel significant and valued and important. They stay because of the community and the cause and the movement of the work that they're doing. And so I think when you can get everyone on the same page of the vision of why they're there and that they're a valued participant in that movement, that's where the core of your team is going to be strong and stable.
Absolutely.
All right, one last question, ladies. One last question.
Oh, I see many hands going up.
Yes,
Can you guys give her a round? That's being what? What did you guys just learn? That's being assertive.
That's what I called it.
That's being assertive right there, like right here. And Kay had no choice but to go right back to her.
I had to, right?
It's like saying you got to ask for what you want in life. You just saw that, right?
Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much, Pinyin, and thank you so much for the ladies on the panel. My question is that I consider myself to have been a leader from very young, but I have been to work predominantly among very strong, powerful men and younger women and men. I rarely found that I was able to relate to or influence women who were in my same age group. It was always a problem. Mm-hmm. So was it a strength of my character, or was it something that I did, that did not relate to them? Because there was always that, or maybe a bit of, I don't know, there was always a lot of fight. So could you please?
I love that question.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm going to word it. Did you guys get it? I think
I'd like to start on that. I just taught a class at the university. I teach business strategy. Here's the deal. You've got baby boomers, you have the X generation, and you have to take classes on the new Y generation. So that's 3 different languages in the same room at any given time. So if you're a baby boomer, you're not going to understand the language of a Yer. So there's a lot of courses now being taught on how to identify and how to communicate with a Yer or how to identify with an Xer, because they do not respect elders if they come from a place of my way or the highway. Wires, for instance, are very big on collaboration, but they may not be as adept as you think they are. So you have to meet them where they are. And the Xers are all about me, and the Yers are even worse of all about me because the parents coddle them very much. So they can't take any constructive criticism at all versus the baby boomers who were raised on constructive criticism. So that's just FYI. You may want to get some real coaching and training around those three generational languages in order to bring forward how you can manage better as a leader.
Can you just tell us a little bit, just expand more for all the ladies? Who's an X, who's a Y, and who's a baby boomer?
The Yers are anywhere from 17 to about 25, and then from 26 to about late 30s going into their 40s are the Xers. So, and baby boomers, as you know, started around 1947. So if you are anywhere from 47, let's say you're in your 60s down to like, say 50, 49, you don't understand the language of X or Y. Because X is going to take you out where it seems like they're so self-absorbed that it annoys the crap out of. Now, the Yers don't even know that they don't know that they don't know. So that's going to be a whole nother language and adaptability that you're going to have. So what a lot of companies are doing, I'm part of a women's president organization where I'm really around these high net worth women. You know, we are hiring that age group to talk to that age group that we can groom to get our communication back to the Yers. Because they don't do anything on desktops. Facebook is going to be obsolete in about 10 years. It's going to be a Twitter thing and an Instagram thing. So you got to understand that's coming. Understand that your college graduate that's coming out first year, if they're a freshman this year, in 2 years, their education will be obsolete already. So that's how quick things are changing. So that's just to, I hope that answered a little bit about the age group and how you might want to get a coach to work around how to talk to the intercommunication that's happening.
Yeah, I think that helps a lot, because what Marjorie is saying in other words is that leadership cannot be a one size fits all.
No more.
That's really, it can't be that anymore. It has to be different. Melissa has something to say about that.
Well, I just wanted to add that when I think of my peers or people that are my same age, and I look at the conditioning that's taken place with my peers, it's to be competitive. It's if you think of all through school and sports and grades and debate clubs and all sorts of things, it's how do you outdo your partner or your peer. So I think when you're looking at people that are your similar age, there's just that conditioning, and it may just be unconscious that you're always trying to outdo that person. You're competitive versus creative. And it might be easier to collaborate and be creative with other age groups because they're not looked at as your peer. So if you're finding yourself having difficulty connecting with or taking advice from or being coached from a peer or someone that's your same age group, it might just be because you're in a competitive mindset instead of a creative and a collaborative mindset. And it's first is the awareness and realizing you're in that state, and then making that shift and saying, wait a minute, how can I work with this person? How can we collaborate? How can we create something together instead of trying to compete and outdo one another? And I'm not going to take their advice because or whatever the self-talk goes on to be.
All right, absolutely. Can any of you just talk a little bit more about the essence of collaborating versus competing? Because in our industry, which is direct sales, and in our company, there's that tendency for a lot of trying to outdo somebody for competition as opposed to collaboration. Can I take from what your strengths and pull from yours and pull from yours, and let's do something that's going to empower all of us? You know what I mean? Like I'm so fond of Kay and Israel, because I find that every time I'm around them, there's a certain energy that comes in, and not one of us is trying to outdo the other person. I'm always completely in a creative space, and we come up with great things, as opposed to other people where I feel like I have to prove myself, and you think you're too much and stuff like that. How important is collaboration to leadership?
Well, you can't do anything without collaboration. So that's just number one. Let's just put that on the table. But here's the deal. Direct sales and coming outside of direct sales are two different industries. So it just really depends on your industry. And today, competition does push outside of maybe direct sales. One of the things I love about the 5 links, I had a meeting, I think I was invited to one a couple of years ago. You constantly are reinforcing each other and rewarding that success. Most businesses don't do that. So that's the difference. It depends on your industry, but what really develops a strong leader is comfortable in any room at any given time, maybe direct sales or you're building the Marriott Hotel. Are you comfortable in your own skin? And that's what I think is the allure that people have with me, because I can go in any room. I don't care, black, brown, blue, purple, you know, whatever it is, because I'm authentic. And that's the word I want you to take away from. When you're authentic, you can play in any arena.
Yes.
That's true leadership.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I know. I think we, did you guys have a good time? Like, how many of you think that this was a great panel? How many of you cannot wait to hear more from these women tomorrow? So give it up for Miss Melissa West and Miss Marjorie Perry, ladies. Thank you so much. This was a great panel. You're going to see and hear more about them tomorrow, okay? So we're going to turn it back to Coach Hayes.